So, this masterclass workshop is called From Anger to Self Empowerment. And this is for you if you're ready to stop feeling powerless in unfair situations. If you're done being under someone else's thumb or being a punching bag, whether you're beating yourself up or someone finds you an easy target. It's also for you if you can't stop doing what you know you shouldn't be doing and begin doing what you know you should. That's empowerment, right? Empowerment also is helps you step into your soul purpose roles as a leader, as a creator, as an achiever, as a networker, a team player, as a connector, as a deep feeler, as an empath, and it helps you like really own the parts of you that before this you've had the habit of being hidden. So in this class you're going to learn what exactly anger is and how it affects you both in the positive and the negative. You're also going to learn how to channel it in self-empowering ways that really creates unity and a mutual benefit for everyone involved. And you'll learn how to do that in 3 steps. And this masterclass is a must-have self-healing tool. This tool is something every single one of my private one-on-one clients knows by the time they learn, they know this inside and out by the time they're done working with me. And it's so powerful because it's a really simple self-healing tool to really build up belief in yourself, to build that self-confidence. So who is Grace Mosgeller? Who am I? Well, yes, I'm a soul purpose coach and energy healer, and I've got over 25 years in personal mastery, life mastery, um, personal transformation, healing. I've taken tons of certifications on NLP, neuro linguistic program, emotional freeing technique, and the subsidiaries of that, energy healing, a lot of money and abundance courses, the 5 kinds of money, the emotions behind money, the emotions behind success. And that's what I have under my belt. And the reason I have that all under my belt is because I needed it. I came into adulthood from childhood not really knowing who I was, but I didn't know that I didn't know who I was. And so I kind of bootstrapped my way through life, pushing to reach my goals. And um, what happened was I ended up feeling super alone in a marriage. I felt disconnected even from my 2 children that I love the most. My friendships were distant, and I found myself sort of isolated and alone. I thought I had the mindset of success and I'm a bootstrap kind of independent woman. And I started my own solopreneur businesses, first a brick and mortar. I could set them up, have the systems in place, and have everything in place. But no matter what I did, I couldn't make more than survival level money. And that was really frustrating. And this process I'm sharing with you here today is one of the main tools that I use shift from a consciousness of lack and limitation and into leaning back and trusting the abundance of true wealth. And and doing that with peace, with ease, with comfort, and with joy. And that's a big shift from someone that bootstraps and pushes her way through life to leaning back and trusting, and that's kind of like the divine feminine process. So let's move on. What's anger? So, anger is a natural reaction to an unfair situation. It's the emotion just before deservingness. It actually is the emotion of, I deserved better. It's also a life force energy that every single one has. It's a life force energy of change. We need that power to create change in our physical world, to create change in our energetic body so that we can embrace who we really are. We can embrace our light without having to be in defense or in offense to and get out of protector mode and into allowing mode. Anger always happens with a betrayal of yourself or betrayal of others. It happens when someone has broken a personal rule, a value, or a boundary around yourself, or you've done it to yourself, right? The problem with anger that's not resolved and channeled, like I'm about to show you, is that we tend to let our lower selves handle it, our unconscious self, right? And like we may go seek revenge, or we may um, have power over dominance where someone wins. Like this woman, she truly feels righteous. She feels like she's right, and this other person should have done something better, right? There's that blame being placed on her. And someone wins, someone loses. And there is a better way. But oftentimes, what happens when someone starts this chain reaction, maybe she fights back. Maybe she says, she's going to pull a Hatfields and McCoy and say, yeah, no, you did this to me. I'm going to get you back, which keeps the fight in play. And this is a really great example of what you resist persist is a spiritual principle. So when you're pushing against something and someone's pushing back, the resistance and the anger stays in play. Nothing's resolved, nothing evolves, nothing grows and blossoms. Oftentimes, if you're not taking anger out on someone else, you get angry at yourself. And that's when you get really super frustrated and you want to pull your hair out. Or you get so overwhelmed with anger, you don't know how to handle anger, perhaps because you've made a vow to yourself that I will never be as angry as my parent was to me, or I was angry to someone else and I'll never show that anger again, or it's not appropriate to show that anger. And so you feel overwhelmed and you're not sure what direction to go in. And always under anger is sadness, loss, powerlessness. And especially for those of us that won't show our anger, we will only feel sad, lost, and powerless. We won't feel anger. And then over time, suppressing anger like that leads to depression, which eventually can cause dis-ease. And this happens because remember, anger is life force energy. It's a boiling cauldron, volcanic of I deserve better. But if we don't allow ourselves to express it, we depress it and it takes a lot of energy, which accounts for the symptoms of depression. And I want you to know that repressing anger, repressing sadness is the number one block to voicing your truth. So, what happens when we do channel anger into self respecting boundaries of worth, of value, of expression? Well, depending upon your soul personality type, you may be as expressive as this beautiful, singing, charismatic leader. You might be have become super powerful in your business in your own little creative ways, or this lady's even talking with her fingers. Or you may be powerful as your healer empath, or you may become your own powerful goddess in any area of your life. You can use this to heal family relationships, to have more fun, more play, and really connect with your sisters. You can use this to deepen your intimacy with a relationship, your romantic relationships. You can use this to bring more money into your life. and definitely, definitely, definitely having a lot more fun and a lot more play in your life. So, how do you become more empowered? How do you do that? Well, there's 3 steps. And the first step is get your anger out of your body. So what happens is almost magically when the anger gets out, you become aware on your own of what you truly deserved instead. Sometimes forgiveness is necessary, and I'll be sharing a little about that. And the third step is actually integrating this, what you truly deserved, into your belief system, in your unconscious belief system. So it's unconscious competence. So, step one. So, before I begin any kind of transformation process, any self healing tool I use, I always call in divine help. And you just call in your favorite divine help because everybody has a different belief system around that, right? But the point is to ask to be guided and assisted to get lingering anger and sadness out so that you can truly realize and voice your authentic self, your true self, your soul self, and what you truly deserve, what you truly desire, and what you truly need. Get out your punching gloves, hit something, go to the gym, hit something. But if you're not a kickboxing type, if you don't have punching gloves or you don't want punching gloves, what you can do is get a small towel. So I started off with a big pillow, but I couldn't get enough anger out because it was so heavy. I got worn out physically before I got all my anger out. So then I downsized to a towel, a bath towel, and that still is too big. So what I use and I recommend is a hand towel or a washcloth. And I'm gonna turn off sharing so you can really see this. How dare you? 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 I deserved better. So you see, make sure there's no one in the house. Make sure your pets are out of the way so they don't get scared because you will scare all the cockroaches out of your house with that. And if you have a busy household and you don't have the privacy to do that, what I used to do is because I lived in the forest in Evergreen, Colorado, and I would get in my truck, find a very isolated place, and do that. If it was cold outside, I would hit my steering wheel. Or if it was warm and there was no one around, I would go out and find a big rock, a boulder, or a tree trunk, something like that, and hit that hard. What you also can do is get your anger out in a journal. You can just voice your anger, just start saying, I'm angry because. And like if you're anything like me, you'll start scribbling and you'll rip the paper apart. So get paper that's inexpensive paper you don't care about. Something else I found really, really useful to do along those lines also as well is in your mind's eye, kill, murder, mayhem, torture the betrayer, torture whoever it is that you just truly cannot find any room to forgive, right? They did was unforgivable. Like for me, when I was really angry at my ex-husband, I I punched him in the stomach a zillion times and I threw him down and I got a pitchfork and I pitchforked his whole body and I punched his face, like I beat it to a pulp. I poured kerosene on it and I lit it on fire. And for my dad, I beat his head to a pulp because he was very logical to me. He had no heart. And I just took that head, I cut it off, I beat it to the pulp, and I kicked it over a cliff into a cauldron of molten lava. That's how you get your revenge. That's how you get your anger out. And on the other side of getting your anger out, you might be a little exhausted, but what you truly deserved instead, what your true self, what your authentic self, what your soul self really deserves instead bubbles up into your awareness. Sometimes there's still forgiveness that's needed, but you start to feel at peace already, even without integration, because your anger's been voiced and it's been validated by you. So before we go on to the integration, which is the magical part, most transformative part, let's talk a little bit about forgiveness. I talk more about forgiveness in my course called Forgiveness for Business Breakthroughs, but I want to just share a little bit about it, reminding you that forgiveness is not for the other person, doesn't get them off the hook. The law of cause and effect will handle them. And that's not your place. You get to stay in your own lane. But what forgiveness does is it sets you free from the blame, shame, guilt cycles of victimhood, of victimizer, and into your story of victorious. And when there's blame or shame involved, always with unresolved anger, there's always some blame or shame. You're either punishing yourself or punishing them, or even worse, staying stuck and helpless and as a victim to capture their attention to say, see, because of what you did, this is who I am. And that's not a very empowering place to be. So this is just an introduction to a very powerful, very simplistic forgiveness process called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. And most Ho'oponoponos have four of these phrases. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I've added this, I forgive myself, because it adds a little extra kick of transformation, of relief when you put this in here. Was suggested to me by my intuitive business coach a couple years ago, and it really catalyzed the forgiveness process. So I'm not going to dive into this too much because I go over this in depth in the Forgiveness for Business Breakthroughs programs. I'll be sharing a link towards the end of how you can find out more about that and other things that I offer. So let's do the integration. Yes. So what is this integration all about? You've got two things going on, right? Two things going on in your subconscious right now. One is, you're very, very angry and you've got your anger out. And you also know that you deserve better. But that's in your brain, that's in your head. It's starting to seep into your belief system. But what we're going to do moving forward is going to really anchor it in. So you can embody this feeling so that it becomes natural. So that when you see this person or enter the situation again, it's charge neutral. And instead, you've got this new feeling of self-respect, of empowerment, of belief in yourself, right? And it takes the kick me sign off your back, so you won't even have to say anything. I'm giving you a script to use as framework for any specific situation. You've got to fill in the blanks on your own, because this is a class workshop. And of course, on my private one-on-one clients get this work done, ironed out clearly, and we do it together. Or you can use a script in a tapping form. Like I used to be way into tapping and I still use it occasionally. You can take this out in journaling form. You can do that as well. But my favorite now is going deep into meditation, and the meditation is in a special soul aligned place, right? And you want to get to the soul aligned place because it's the part of you that is unconditional love. And unconditional love is what heals everything, right? So if this is your first time watching the video, I invite you just to watch along so you could see what I'm talking about. And once you've done that, then go to the guided healing meditation and actually do it for yourself. Follow the directions and whatnot. And if you want to do it with journaling or with tapping, then come back later, pause the video on each slide and tap through or journal through until you've got all the emotions coming up and you're going to feel a shift so that on the other side, what you truly deserve is validated. So call in your favorite guides, take in few deep breaths, set the intention that you're going to embrace the feelings of happiness, peace, and empowerment for the particular situation that you're getting ready to heal. So, in your mind's eye, I want you to look over to your right and see who it is that you're angry at. And then you just go over there and validate them. There they are, over there in their energy. And they're with their opinions, with their judgments, and with their behaviors. And look over to the left. I'm over here in mine. Everything that honors me, everything that I truly deserve, everything that is my truth, I honor, I validate, I embrace. And then looking over to your right, there they are over in their energy with their opinions, their judgments, their bad behaviors. Just kind of look at them and validate them and look at them, just kind of go, yep, that's you. That's you. I acknowledge that that is who you are. Then looking over in your left side, I am over here in my light. I am deserving of, and fill in the blanks. I am safe to be, fill in the blanks. It's possible to be, fill in the blanks. I'm willing to be this. I trust that the unknown will unfold in my favor. I honor me. I honor myself in my light. This is my boundary. This is my truth. These are my feelings. This is what I desire for myself. This is my boundary. Looking over to your right, I free and release you to be you. I free and release you from my need to be right and validated. I free and release my need for you to be wrong and punished. I free and release you from my need for you to be different, from my need for you to be whom I want you to be. I free and release you from my need for you to see things my way. I free and release you to agree with me. I free and release you from my need to agree with me, to understand me, to treat me as I truly desire. I really wish that you had. It would be great if you could. And if that happens, I will love and accept you graciously. Look over to the left. I honor my truth. I honor my value. This is what I deserve. These are my feelings. This is what I desire for myself. This is my boundary. Looking to your right. I free and release you to understand me or not. I free and release you to treat me as I desire or not. I am open to the highest good for both of us to unfold. even if that takes time. The truth is, I honor and respect myself, my values, and my desires. I say yes for the highest good of me and for everyone involved. I free and release you to say yes to you. I accept all consequences that unfold with this. I honor and bless the entire situation for the highest, best, and mutual benefit of everyone involved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, as you can see, this is very, very powerful boundary setting, energetic boundary setting. The meditations that come with this course will fully integrate them for you. Remember, when you're listening to them, to pause the recording if you need more time to really wrap your consciousness around the shifts that you're making. It's not unusual to need that. So this is very, very, very powerful thing, and really encourage you to use this. And if you have any questions, feel free to join the Sacred Soul Shares. And you want to join it because you can ask questions in there, and I hold office hours every week. And of course, you can always talk directly to me. And I really, really would love to help you embrace all of your soul's money making genius. Because when you do, you're co creating with the divine. And the abundance, that wealth consciousness that you embrace, not only creates a special heaven on earth for you, you get to live the lifestyle and make the impact that you're feeling called to make with peace, with ease, with comfort, and with joy. And knowing that as you create your own slice of heaven on earth, the ripple effect goes out. And did you know that when one person raises their consciousness, they affect 700 people around them? So you're doing this not only for yourself, not only for your family, not only for the clients and customers you're meant to serve, you're doing it for everyone that you interact with, for 700 people around you. And as those 700 people raise consciousness, that effect spreads as well. And that's a really, really sacred motivation for really getting to embrace your soul's money making genius. So it's been my honor, my pleasure to have presented this for you. Feel free to reach out to me. And thanks for watching. Sending lots of love, lots of light, lots of laughter your way. Have a most marvelous day.